But let me just get your head around the idea of trading and making money when the price falls, because that's a real mental shift if we've never been exposed to that before. Because we are so in tune of thinking about buying Telstra shares at $4 and selling them at $6 and making some money. Well, you can sell Telstra shares at $5, buy them back at $4, and guess what? Make money. So let's just talk about some basic terminology, and that is the idea of long or short, just to get our head around this idea of going in either direction. If we use the term long, we have entered a trade, whatever it may be, where we are going to benefit and profit if the price rises. That's all. So whenever you bought shares before, let's say you bought BHP shares, someone could describe that as you going long BHP. You have gone long BHP. You have entered a trade with BHP or an investment, and you're going to benefit should the BHP price rise. So we want the price to go up. If it does, we're in business. If it doesn't, we're facing an unrealised loss. Let's talk about the opposite, and it is in fact the opposite. When we go short, we want the price to go down. We enter a trade, whatever it may be, a CFD, a foreign exchange pair, an option contract. We want the price to go down. If it does, we're in business. If it goes up, we actually lose money in a short trade. Just a little bit more about the idea of this long and short and the buying and the selling. Clearly, for every single trade, for a complete closure, we need to have a buying transaction at some stage, and we need to have a selling transaction. And again, we're so in tune with the idea of buying something and then selling it later. But actually, when we go short, we do the opposite. So when we go long, we buy first and sell later, but actually when we go short, we do the opposite. So we do the selling first, and then we do the buying down here, hopefully, and if the price is lower, we actually make that, as if we did the transaction around the other way. Very, very simple concept, but it may be new to some of you, and I can accept that it would be a little bit not so sure about this other way and everything else. But please accept the fact that you can trade in either direction. Here's just a very simple example of what we've looked at just recently. This company here, ABC, is its stock code, Adelaide Bright, and they make a lot of cement. Okay, and this is actually their share price. So when we talk about our approach, and we talk about technical analysis or fundamental analysis, we are really looking at technical analysis here. We are looking at the price, the chart of the price. And here's a simple example of something that I put forward into the report over perhaps the last couple of months that's currently sitting in our report right now. Now, we haven't bought ABC, but I can tell you it's in the report as a potential recommendation. Notice a couple of lines drawn on the chart. If you can't see clearly enough, you'll see that those lines are drawn at roughly $3, and the top line is roughly drawn around $4. Now this price chart here stretches about 2 years, and down in the bottom left-hand corner the price is around $2.50, and it's currently around the $3.60 sort of mark. Now why is this in the report right now as a potential recommendation? Because I as in the ASR, we want to buy ABC should it trade to $4 and beyond. Now what do we see at $4? Yes, there's a black line there, but what we see is on several occasions ABC has approached the $4 level and failed to get beyond that. And it's simply been belted back down again. And then it tried again to get to $4, but again it didn't get through and it comes back. So I see this period of time here as a terrific period of consolidation. It's just really going sideways. And if it gets to $4.05, I'm really, really interested in us getting into this trading opportunity. Now, that may take 6 months, it may take 3 months, it might happen within 2 weeks. I have no idea when it's going to happen, and it may never happen. It'll probably happen eventually. But if it does get to $4.05 or 10, it's cleared that level of resistance. We've got a trigger right now in the report right now to say, guess what, this is something we think you should get into. This is a very, very simple approach of technical analysis of a company, and this would be going long ABC. Going long ABC. Now, for those who trade some more derivative products on a different time frame, maybe trade short term, they may have already traded this several times over the last 12 months because they've seen it bounce between $3 and $4, and then guess what, back down to 3 and then back up to 4, and they've been able to trade the long leg, the short leg, up again and then down again, using a derivative product and using leverage to do that. Here's a simple example of a fundamental analysis that we've done in the report recently, and I'll be the first to admit, this is not my area of expertise. Right? I'm not a fundamental guy at all. I understand the basics of statement of financial positions and those sorts of things, but this is not my area in any way, shape or form, and that's great because in the ASR team there's about 6 guys who this is their area of their expertise. So notice I don't have a chart up for this particular company, I just have some basic information. And here's an example, again, has been in the report over recent months, called Queensland Gas. We know the world is looking for more environmentally friendly forms of fuel, and here's a company that does coal seam gas. It's seen as a more environmentally friendly gas. We know that the oil and gas sector is very, very hot and people are interested in those sorts of assets, and we've seen BG, or British Gas's, takeover offer of Origin Energy, and they've knocked back a couple of times. So really fuel and oil and gas assets are really in great demand right now, and of course they're right in this industry here. And then once BG have sort of struggled with Origin Energy, they actually set up a partnership with Queensland Gas to develop more plants together and those sorts of things. So we haven't looked at a chart yet, we've just looked at the information that the company has come out with, we've analysed that information, not me, the ASR guys, the fundamental guys in the team, have analysed this information and have made an assessment based on that information. Would you believe, over the last few months, this price has gone from, say, around $3 to $6, and it has eased off since. But let's make it clear, when they put that information in the report several months ago, they had no idea what was going to happen with the price. None of us do. It just so happened that this particular one went quite well. These are my foundations to success, and I wonder how many people consider the foundations. Now, you noticed that map earlier. I've been throughout Southeast Asia and I do a lot of talking, and I go to Kuala Lumpur and everything else, and one thing that stands out at KL, or Kuala Lumpur, is the Petronas Twin Towers. And whenever I'm there I say, I put up a picture of the Twin Towers and I say, what's the most important part of those Twin Towers? Some will even suggest it's the sky bridge which connects because it provides the stability to make sure if one falls over the other one holds onto it, or whatever their theory is. But of course with any tall building like those Twin Towers, the most important parts of those buildings is never talked about, never discussed, because they're never seen. And of course I'm talking about the foundations. And did you know in those Twin Towers, a third of their height is actually down under the ground as their foundations? But we never think about the foundations. And have we thought about the foundations for our trading or investing success? Have we thought about laying the foundations? Would you believe the bamboo plant, we all have an idea that bamboo plants can grow really fast. But did you know when you first plant a bamboo plant, it doesn't grow for 2 or 3 years? It doesn't grow for 2 or 3 years. Or so it seems. Do you know what it's doing in the first 2 or 3 years? It's establishing its root system. It's laying its own foundations, and once those foundations are laid, its growth is incredible.